Hey everybody, David here, and today I want to talk about HBO Max. Earlier today, WarnerMedia announced that HBO Max will be coming out May 27th. That's right, in the United States of America. I don't know when it's going to come out in Canada and other international markets, but these are American-made products, so America always gets the announcement first. Look, I hope this comes out in Canada sooner rather than later. I'd rather it come out the same day as it does in the US, but we don't have control over that. That's something that the studio has to decide, the company. But they released a couple of trailers of some nerdy things that nerds like myself will be looking forward to checking out. Maybe nothing that will get people clamoring for it like The Mandalorian had for Disney Plus, but these are still some cool little things for people, especially people with kids, I think, can go out and check this stuff out. Until we get the bigger things that are supposed to be coming out, such as the recently announced J.J. Abrams is producing a Justice League Dark series for HBO Max. Green Lantern has also been announced from producer Greg Berlanti. James Wan is working on an Aquaman animated series for HBO Max. So there's some things cooking for hardcore DC fans. Disney has Marvel, Warner Brothers has DC, and they're going to use that to their advantage, as well as some other things that they are going to have on launch, it looks like. They are going to have an Elmo late-night talk show, or not-so-late-night talk show, they're calling it. I'm going to be honest, Elmo is my least favorite character from Sesame Street. I think a lot of people have, nostalgia for Sesame Street. And look, this might not be a priority show, but if you're someone with kids, or if you're someone that just wants to see some of your favorite celebrities, that is what this show is going to have. They showed a trailer and it had celebrities such as Jimmy Fallon, the Jonas Brothers, John Mulaney, as well as many, many others that are going to be guest starring on that show. And I think that's the draw. The draw is the celebrities are going to what's draw people. That's always been Sesame Street and the Muppets. Charm is the celebrity guests that they get. That gets the adults coming to watch, and with their kids, obviously, as well. So that's something a little fun that they'll have, I guess. And they'll be reviving Fraggle Rock, another Jim Henson Company series from my youth. Back in the late 80s, early 90s, there was a show called Fraggle Rock. I don't know if you guys remember this, if you were old enough to remember it, or if you're too young. Well, I know they had it on Netflix for a while. I didn't bother watching it on Netflix, but, I'd be curious to check it out again and see what a reboot would be like. My confusion, though, is that the Jim Henson Company is owned by Disney now. So how come Warner Brothers or HBO Max is getting Fraggle Rock and not Disney Plus? I thought that was kind of weird. Sesame Street, I know, was owned by a different... Sesame Street Workshop owns... Or now it's HBO that owns Sesame Street. But they were always a separate production company from the Jim Henson Studio. I always thought Jim Henson Studios were the ones that owned Fraggle Rock. I guess not, though. Okay. But the thing that really caught my attention out of these trailers was a new Looney Tunes animated series going directly to Disney Plus. If you've seen this trailer, I was actually blown away by it, because as someone who is a fan of old school Looney Tunes, those old shorts, I own a lot of those golden collections that they released back in the early 2000s. I saw the animation in this show, how fast and quick it was. It reminded me a lot of those early, mid-30s, early 40s Looney Tune cartoons, like the Tex Avery style animation. I was actually pretty impressed by it, and the jokes look like they're going to be a little bit more crude than your typical Saturday morning Looney Tunes cartoons. Like they had that Looney Tunes cartoon back in, I think, like 2003 or something, or 2010. I forgot what year it was. They like had a revamped Looney Tunes, but you could tell, even though I thought it was funny, you could tell it was aimed more for kids. This one looks like it could be like aiming for the hardcore older Looney Tune fans, getting back to basics, because those Looney Tune shorts from the 30s and 40s and 50s were a little bit more crude than they would be later on. Because later on they started watering down the Looney Tunes a little bit, because they started looking, oh, cartoons are for kids, so we shouldn't be too harsh with these. And I'm not saying like the old cartoons, there were some of those old cartoons can be a little dated now, because there were some things they joked with that shouldn't have been joked around back then. You know what I'm talking about if you know old school animation. This cartoon I don't think will cross that line, of course, because unless they want a lot of controversy, I don't think they'll cross that line. But it looks like they might be aiming for a slightly more older audience than just the kid demographic, which is really cool. I think old school Looney Tune fans like myself will really appreciate that. We'll see. I don't think they'll go rated R, but I think they're aiming for like a PG-13 from what it looks like, from what I saw in that trailer. That's the thing that is capturing me the most. That's not to say that's the show that I'm looking forward to the most. I'm looking forward more to Green Lantern and Justice League Dark. But look, as someone who can get a little nerdy over some of this stuff, so far it's not too bad of a start. I think they don't have their Mandalorian series yet. So if you're someone that's really looking forward to some high quality shows, you might have to wait a little bit. But if you're someone that doesn't mind checking out some of the smaller stuff, plus remember, they're also going to have shows like Friends and South Park. I read was going to be part of it as well. There was another show I was reading on here. The Matrix, Big Bang Theory, Joker, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman. So they'll have a lot of the comic book things that Warner Brothers owns, and other sci-fi and whatever action-oriented stuff they'll have in other movies, classic films, etc. So, yeah, look, I'm looking forward to this streaming service. I think it might be my second most anticipated, right behind Disney+. I'm looking forward. It doesn't seem like they're going to be focusing on making original films for their streaming service. Warner Brothers seems to have the idea that films go to the theater, TV shows go to the streaming platform. So either way, I'm fine with it. With that being said, guys, comment below and tell me your thoughts. Are you looking forward to HBO Max? Are you going to wait to see some of the bigger things that they'll eventually get? Or do you think what they're showing already, this Elmo late night talk show, or this Looney Tunes cartoon, do you think that's enough right now? Okay, that can ease me into it until the bigger stuff starts coming, or are you just going to wait for the bigger stuff? Let me know, and I'm curious. So with that being said, I hope you guys like this video. Please subscribe to my channel, and until next time, take care.